"20 teams, 49 matches, a hold-up of 10 weeks, but today has arrived and we've only 2 left standing." Newmarket, the favourites, the aristocrats, the Blues. They started with a loss this season to Wolf Tones in damp conditions in the opening round and have since discarded Ballyea, county champions Tulla, Aina Kilnamona, Cratloe in the quarter-finals and St. Joseph's in the semi-final impressively to reach today's decider. Against them and in their way stand a team who may not have the same tradition as at the top table at Clare Hurling, but they're also a side that has given scant regard to that same tradition on their path to today's final. Wins over O'Gonlow, Smith O'Brien's, Scariff and Kilmaley bought a semi-final position for Clonlara against a fancy Crusheen outfit. It took 2 days, but Clon overturned the defeat inflicted on them in the group stages with a 13-5 victory. If they call 27 years an eternity in Newmarket, you can imagine what it would mean for Clonlara men and women to end an 89-year wait here today. I'm sure even many of their supporters passed the famed Tracy's Field across from Smith's shop in the village of O'Callaghan's Mills on their way to Ennis today. And it was there back in 1919. You had Dillon's on the team, you had McCormack's, you had Murnans, you had O'Shea's, you had Clones, and you had a Stretch and a Michael Burke. They defeated a Scariff team that were reported to be so sure of victory that celebrations were even carried out on the eve of the game. Conditions in Cusack Park have been damp. It has been much commented on during the week, so damp in fact that it brought today's venue into question and indeed the county final itself. County headquarters is sure to cut up here in Ennis, but we could indeed see a high scoring fixture hampered by the conditions, and black clouds indeed over Ennis look like continuing that pattern as the game progresses. A referee for today's tie is Ger Hoy of Killanena. So the teams are led out on the far side of the field here, and a sizable contingent, as you would have expected, making their way for what I suppose is a novel pairing in Cusack Park today. The men from South East Clare, the famous Amber and Black of Clonlara, against the purists of Clare Hurling, Newmarket and Fergus, who are coming here today equipped with 22 county titles behind them, but none since 1981. It's 27 years. It's been a long time in coming. It was 25 years indeed that they had even been paraded around the back of the Tulla band up until 2 years ago in 2006, but their banner was lowered that day by Wolf Tones. But they're back today with a string of under 21 titles in their pockets as well, and hoping to end the famine. And indeed it might only be 27 years, but it is a famine when you have a history as proud as the men from Newmarket and Fergus have. Not good on numbers, but you'd put a crowd of maybe about 8,000, possibly 9 in Cusack Park today, with still some coming through the gates. The cold winterish weather might have kept a few away, but as I said, it's not every day you see Clonlara in a county final, indeed no disrespect to them, and not every day you see Newmarket and Fergus against Clonlara paired against each other in one. The Tulla Pipe Band, they're no strangers to this occasion or to this field, leading out the two teams. So all the talking has been done, all the comment in the provincial papers during the week is done and over with now, and it's down to the simple task of hurling. And I suppose in conditions like this it's down to the simple task of who wants it more. Clonlara, led by their captain Paul Collins. Paul is one of a triumvirate of players on the Clonlara team today, with minor medals with his county at All-Ireland level in his back pocket. Another one of them is Donal Madden, who I suppose you could call Donal very unlucky. He had served Tulla well for years and years, and the 1 year he left Tulla made it all the way to the county final and indeed won it last season. But Donal's perseverance and the switch did pay off. He won an intermediate club medal with Clonlara in the county, and then indeed went on and blazed the trail through Munster, picking up another one. The third man, of course, that has an All-Ireland minor medal with Clare in the Clonlara lineup is Ger O'Connell, who minds the sticks today. Ger O'Connell was goalie that day. He indeed switched from Clonlara to Clahan of Limerick at one time, but is back in the black and amber today, and what a payoff that was. So then the Tulla Pipe Band just moments away from playing the national anthem. They'll stop up in front of the main stand here. I've seen Newmarket and Fergus do this once or twice already today. Management, subs, players and all close together in a huddle. So this is what it all boils down to. That training back in January, March, and for some teams even earlier. You can tell you the Clonlara have been going straight through for 15 months to get here today. They have been on a fantastic journey that involved a minor final, a 21s final, a county intermediate final, a provincial final. And they're still hurling, and who knows, maybe even after today they'll still be hurling next weekend, because the champions of Clare have to travel to Cork to play a first round of a Munster Intermediate or a Munster Senior Championship. Meanwhile, the St Patrick's Pipe Band of Tulla and County Clare are on the VM. And so then the formalities are out of the way. One famine at least will topple Cusack Park today, whether it's the 27-year gap since Newmarket and Fergus last crown or the 89-year wait Clonlara have had to endure to claim only their second place on Clare Hurling's Roll of Honour for only the second time in their history. It all remains to be seen. We're 70 minutes away or 60 minutes away of hurling to answer those questions. 1981 isn't all that long ago, and your average clubs wait for silverware, but when you consider the Newmarket lead the county Roll of Honour, it must be seen like an eternity to some Blues supporters. In the 60s and 70s, to say Newmarket reigned supreme is a serious understatement. They lifted 2 Munster clubs and dominated 13 out of 16 county championships in that time. But since 1981, the proud Newmarket and Fergus club haven't even seen the county final day until 2 years ago, when they were beaten by Wolf Tones. They're here today with Kieran Devitt in goals, a full back line of Brian Clancy, Stephen Kelly and Anthony Kilmartin. Enda Barrett, James McInerney and Alan Barrett make up the half back line. Midfield pairing is Dominic McMahon and Pádraig Collins. Colin Ryan, Pádraig Kilmartin and James McInerney are named in the half forward line. The full forward line sees Enda Kelly, Shane O'Brien and Martin Murphy. There is some changes to that lineup, I can tell you. Martin O'Hanlon wears 20 and is playing below us. Meanwhile, Sconey Kilmartin, the man they call Sconey, that's Anthony Kilmartin, comes out with his first ball, but it's a crunching challenge in from Pat O'Hare in the colours of black and amber for Clonlara. They work the ball out as far as Cormac O'Donovan. O'Donovan has a look at the sticks. The ball hits off and ricochets off the upright, comes down into the hand of Stephen Kelly. The first scoring chance goes amiss for Clonlara. It's cleared out of defence by Enda Barrett at half back. There's another Barrett on the other side. His name is Allen. The ball drops on the 65-yard line. Newmarket and Clonlara in there in numbers. A fiery start to this game. Up with the ball comes one of the players of the year for Clonlara ending Clare Club hurling. It's Nicky O'Connell, brother of the goalkeeper Ger, and the man they call Tots down on the sideline that helps the team out with water. A good ball up, and it'll be the first ball of the day for number 19, who is Senan Niall. Senan Niall clears away a ball into the middle of the field. Pádraig Collins is there, sends a direct ball in from Newmarket and Fergus, all the way in as far as Enda Kelly. Up goes the hand of Kelly and John Maloney. In there following for it as well as Martin Murphy, who's coming out with it. It's a Clonlara man, or is it? No, a ball is back into the hand of Martin Murphy, buried down on the goal, and Martin Murphy buries it. And I said all week to friends of mine who had fancied Clonlara to upset the apple cart today that Newmarket and Fergus needed a good start. They like to be in front, they like to have their noses in front, and they certainly like to know they're better than the opposition they play. Well, you couldn't have asked for a better start for Newmarket and Fergus. Martin Murphy had absolutely no right to pick that ball up. He did it on the edge of the large parallelogram and made his way all the way in towards the small square and buried it past Gerald O'Connell. But Clonlara have a chance to reply with John Conlon. In it goes to the Newmarket captain Kieran Devitt, and Devitt from down by the bells clears the ball away down the far side of the pitch at the Christian Brothers, and the ball plugs in the muck over there. Martin O'Hanlon gets his first touch and clears it away for the Blues. Standing underneath it is Shane O'Brien. He's beaten forward, however, by Donal O'Donovan. Ball comes into the middle of the field. Donovan touches it forward towards the brother Tomas. Their father Sean has about 3 or 4 county championship medals with the famed Kilmallock in Limerick. Bending low forward is John Conlon. John Conlon gets away towards big James McInerney, but it's small James McInerney, and he's not a small man at all. He comes up with the ball in his half back line. He wins the free for the Blues, and the free out will be taken by the same man who won it. We have 4 minutes played. It's been a frenetic start, and what a start it is for Newmarket and Fergus. Martin Murphy draws first blood, but not with a white flag, a green flag. It'll give me a breather and maybe a chance to tell you about the Clonlara line out. It's injustice to say that this Clonlara team are a plucky team, because they may have surprised many purists with their journey to a county final today. But the ball meanwhile inside to Martin Murphy again. It's well stopped by Gerald Connolly sitting on the ball. He roll lifts it one-handed, comes away from the edge of his small square, clears the ball out towards his half-back line under pressure. There's a Newmarket man standing under it. It's a Barrett, it's Enda Barrett. Ball comes up into the hands of James McInerney, but down it comes to the man they know down in the southeast corner, Clare, called Tadzi. Tadzi is Tomas O'Donovan. Went to a rugby school, Munchins, on the banks of the Shannon inside in Limerick. There's going to be a throw in. There's a bit of a Shamazel, players getting to know each other if they hadn't got to know each other already. And it's going to be a free. Jerhoy has his hand outstretched, but I fail to see which direction it's going to be in. I said many of the purists would be surprised with Clonlara's journey to a county final today, but when you look at the last 15 months have brought to the men from the southeast corner of Clare, maybe the money is on the wrong team today. Today's opposition, Newmarket, beat them in a minor final at A level last year. That would have done some clubs who've made their breakthrough, but since then the men from Clon have travelled some roller coaster that has claimed an intermediate county, an intermediate provincial, and last St Patrick's Day an under 21 A county title to the against or at the cost of today's opposition, Newmarket and Fergus. Gerald Connell's in the sticks for them. Brian Woods, John Maloney and Paul Collins, the captain, make up the full back line. Woods is out and Senan Nihil is in for them in that position at number 2. Nicky O'Connell wears 5, Donald O'Donovan wears 6, and Paul Nihil makes up the half back line. Here's Tomas O'Donovan, a nervous touch from Tomas O'Donovan, but he has it back at the second time of asking, and will he get an even better point? No, unfortunately the ball tails off to the right hand side of the sticks and wide. The midfield pairing today is made up of Diarmuid Conway and Cormac O'Donovan, one of 3 O'Donovan brothers on this team, and the second of the set of twins on the side. John Conlon is at right half forward, Tomas O'Donovan is at left half forward, expecting to move into the centre. I think indeed he already has done, and Pat O'Hare moves out to the flank. Now meanwhile the Newmarket Fergus fullback Stephen Kelly can't get the ball up. Clonlara men are into scrum it down. Kelly was lying in the ball, and it looks like Clon will have their first score of the afternoon, and it'll come after 5.5 minutes of play, and it's going to come from a dead ball and a free, which is going to be taken, I presume, for Donald Madden. Donald Madden, very very accurate hurler, Donald Madden, from the dead ball, and plenty of experience indeed too, Donald Madden. A wise head inside in that Clonlara dressing room, and this is a great way to dampen some of the fire that Newmarket and Fergus have started with. The full forward line today for Clonlara sees Tommy Lynch at top of the right. This man taking the free, Donald Madden, is at full, and Dara Honan, the real danger man with those long legs of his, when he gets going he's got some stride. Madden roll lifts the ball, sends it between the sticks and over the bar. Not easy conditions for a free taker now. Clonlara, for the first time in 89 years, are after scoring in the County Senior Hurling Championship final in Clare. The scorer is Donald Madden at full forward. The puck out is taken by Kieran Devitt. Devitt lords it all the way down to his half back line. Now what a take that was by Donald O'Donovan. The nerves seem to have gone out of Clonlara, but back with possession is their number 20, Martin O'Hanlon, for Newmarket. And again, and I don't think it'll be for the first time today, Jerhoy has to blow his whistle, and we're going to have a few situations like this. I think the ground really cutting up in the middle of the pitch, the ball not able to come out of a Shamazel, and players standing on it. It is going to result in the ball being plugged. Newmarket and Fergus with James McInerney trying to fluster the ball up into a hand down there. Nobody able to get clean possession for a minute. I think Hoy will have to blow the whistle again, will he? No, indeed, he sees the ball, and out come Clonlara with it. It's scuppered away only as far as Alan Barrett at half back. Barrett lays the ball out towards Pádraig Collins. Pádraig Collins turns to his right hand side and plays the ball in as far as the full forward Shane O'Brien. Shane O'Brien bearing down in goal. There's a late pull on Shane O'Brien. It's going to be a free, and it's going to be a free to the Blues. The free given away, I think it could have been by who is it? It's number 9 for Clonlara, Cormac O'Donovan. And so Cormac O'Donovan getting to know the full forward Shane O'Brien, but Shane O'Brien wins the free on that occasion, and it should be easy for Pádraig Collins. But always a nervous free to take for a free taker, especially in a county final in front of a large attendance like we have here in the famed Cusick Park today. Pádraig Collins will hit this off of his left hand side, with indeed his left hand on top too. Jab lifts the ball, sends it straight and true and over the bar, and it's Newmarket and Fergus' second score. They lead by 3 on a scoreline of 1-1 to 1 point. The 2 points we've seen have both been from frees this afternoon, and that pattern could continue. I did say that these two teams have no problem in putting up a high score, but that's only when the dry sod is there in the middle of the summer. Both of them have 6 very dangerous forwards, but today I think it's all about physical strength and who wants it a bit more when the ball slows down. Up goes the hand to John Conlon, plays it out as far as James McInerney, only for Newmarket and Fergus, but there's Cormac O'Donovan battling for it, back to the man they call Toddsy. The helmet comes off at Toddsy, he plays the ball in on his left side, but it's going to be Tomas O'Donovan's second wide this afternoon. I think he was blinded by 2 Newmarket men in front of him on that occasion. Tomas O'Donovan, they like this fella's style down in Clonlara. They put a lot of their semi-final victory down on his shoulders. Played very very well, I believe, that day on none other than Jerry O'Grady, county cornerback. Tomas O'Donovan. He definitely has the physical strength to trouble any backs, especially in conditions like this. The ball is pulled on the ground and pulled well on the ground by Alan Barrett, but eventually it tails over the dead ball line, and Gerald O'Connell will be happy to see it pass out, watch the umpire wave a wide and take the puck out himself. We have 9 minutes played at the county final in Ennis. 1-1 to Newmarket and Fergus. 1 point as of yet for Clonlara. Gerald O'Connell takes a lengthy puck out all the way down to his side's half forward line, but up goes a Newmarket hand, and down comes a Newmarket hand with the ball clutched in between the fingers of it. It's Enda Barrett, but he can't release it. Out comes Dara Honan. His first touch in this county final isn't a good one. He roll lifts the ball. Now if he's able to get space, he can even run from here. Dara Honan, that's a dangerous ball in. It goes towards Tommy Lynch. Tommy Lynch fails to hold it. Donald Madden, though, it's a snapshot and the ball hails out wide. Is it going to be a 65? Madden is remonstrating with the umpire in there, but for the second or third time the umpire waves wide. A controversial place to be an umpire, as it was here back in the middle of the summer when Clare lost the under 21 Munster Championship to a decision from a man standing in that very spot. John Conlon of Clonlara was on that team. He's here as well today. So too was Nicky O'Connell. He was another representative of that team, and Dara Honan, who swung the ball across the face of the goals on that occasion. Colin Ryan of Newmarket and Fergus, he was also part of that Clare set-up that day. Now here is indeed the same man, Colin Ryan, but the ball is played out of his hand by John Maloney. Indeed it was David Barrett, in fact, who tried to get the ball up that time. Following forward with him is Shane O'Brien. The ball comes out and John Maloney will eventually win the free. Ger Hoy gives John Maloney. John Maloney, he has Harty Cup experience with St. Flannan's of Ennis. Ball going to be hit out of the full back line by the Clonlara number 5, Nicky O'Connell. It's a good ball from Nicky O'Connell, and that's going to travel all the way in on top of Dara Honan or John Conlon. Ball comes down, however, and the break favours Enda Barrett. Enda Barrett on his 21 defending line plays the ball away down the pitch towards the Martin Murphy, today's goal scorer, tries to release a hand pass out, but beating him to it is Diarmuid Conway, that man they call Mush. Plays the ball in towards the centre. The hurley of John Conlon goes up, eventually stoops down low for the ball, has a look at the sticks, but his shot is half hooked and in it will go, and Kieran Devitt is happy to see it tail over beneath the end line and wide. Clonlara have had more chances to put their name on the scoreboard than Newmarket and Fergus early in this game. They've been a little bit nervous. Tomas O'Donovan has had 2 wides, Donald Madden has had a wide, and that wide from John Conlon has seen their 4th wide so far, and all of them have been fairly scoreable. Meanwhile, Shane O'Brien, working like a workhorse, 40 yards out from the goal, has a look at the sticks, and that's yet again another wide. So many hurling followers who like to see some accurate hurling, and indeed Clare needs them. Won't be too pleased with what we've seen in the early moments of this county final, but commitment is certainly there to be seen on both sides. Now Gerald O'Connell decides to play it away from Conlon this time. He's going to put it down on the smaller half forward, and that is Pat O'Hare. Pat O'Hare fails to take up the ball, however, and Newmarket and Fergus manage to clear their lines. This one is going to drop in front of Shane O'Brien, tries to add to it, but not for the first time today. It's a great take by number 6 Donald O'Donovan, racing at the heart of Newmarket defence. He plays a low ball in, but that should be bread and butter for Kieran Devitt. Devitt, the Newmarket captain, bends low at the edge of his small square, plays the ball right down on top of the half back line where Paul Niall is underneath it for Clonlara. Their half back line doing well in the early moments of this match. Ball eventually comes out towards Diarmuid Mush Conway. Conway has it in the hand. There's a man pulling at his jersey. Referee Ger Hoy spots it as well as myself, and it's going to be a free out and a chance for Clonlara to clear their lines. Now Nicky O'Connell will go over and hit this, and I can tell you Nicky O'Connell isn't too far away, or won't be too far away at all from the goals. I hope I don't put the curse on him with this one. He certainly has the distance, Nicky O'Connell. He's been in an immaculate form for Clonlara in the free taking duties all season, and his team will be depending on him here to at least put the Newmarket defence under some bit of trouble. Donald Madden is standing underneath it. Dara Honan, who's got plenty of height, is also standing underneath it, and so too is the grabbing hand of John Conlon. Nicky O'Connell plays the ball. That's dangerous. It's in front of Kieran Devitt. Newmarket and Fergus. Captain drops it. It's a stalemate situation. It's going to be, is it a 65 or a 21 yard free? Yes indeed it is. Now Kieran Devitt will be happy to give away a free because it could have been so much worse. I'm not sure if he saw it late or if he was being a little bit too relaxed, Kieran Devitt there, but he took the ball standing and it seemed to hop out of his hands, and that often happens to people maybe when they have too much time in the ball. But Clonlara will get the free and Donald Madden will take it, and it's from a lot further in than where Nicky O'Connell had the opportunity a few moments ago, and you'd expect Donald Madden to find the range with this one and get Clonlara's 2nd point of this afternoon after 13 minutes of play in the county final. As it stands at the minute, it's 1-1 to the men from Newmarket, a point for Clonlara. Now this is an interesting habit of Donald Madden's. He stands behind the ball, eyes up the goals. Now he's going to trot up casually to the ball in a few moments. Roll lifted. Is he going to go for a goal here? I think there's a few fellas saying that he might. Dolan Madden hits it, but it's a great recovery from Kieran Devitt, who gave away the free in the first place, and eventually the man they call Sconey is there to aid him. Anthony Kilmartin gets it out. Would Dolan Madden have been better served to settle the nerves of his side and put that over the bar? But of course you won't get too many goal chance opportunities in the county final, and you can't live to regret them. Ball at the far side comes to Madden's opposite number, and that's Shane O'Brien. Shane O'Brien with John Maloney in front of him, plays the ball across the face of the goals. James McInerney's hand went up, but it came down without the ball. Nicky O'Connell wins the free for a late trip on him, and so Clonlara at the other end of the pitch are let out and let off the hook. That could have been a chance for Newmarket and Fergus to hit the rigging for the second time this afternoon. He'll lead from the front. Nicky O'Connell takes the free out of his full back line and all the way up, but there's a Newmarket man underneath it, and it's Enda Barrett, all totally unmarked there. Enda Barrett, he's got time to pick out a forward with this ball. Indeed he does. That forward is Shane O'Brien, takes the bounce of the ball, hops off the challenge from Paul Nihill. Ball eventually comes back towards Martin Murphy. Martin Murphy plays the hand pass into the middle of the park, where Pádraig Collins has a look at the sticks, and Pádraig Collins sends it straight and true and over the bar. Pádraig Collins, from a famous hurling household. His brother Johnny was a famous Newmarket number 6. If you'd call it the bad old days for Newmarket and Fergus hurling, Johnny Collins a real stalwart in a half back line for Newmarket. That's his younger brother, and Johnny Collins also takes his place on the Newmarket selection panel today. He's at this side of the whitewash, and what a good score he's after seeing his son get to register Newmarket and Fergus' second point of this afternoon. They lead on a scoreline of 1-2 to 1 point, and they have a free out of their defence. Newmarket and Fergus then starting the stronger as expected in the bookie offices all week than Clonlara, but Clonlara have certainly had their scoring opportunities. One of them a few moments ago when David pulled off a brilliant save from a blistering shot from Donal Madden at full forward. Now Clonlara, or Newmarket and Fergus, with James McInerney's free clearance played all the way down the pitch. Over there to collect it is Paul Collins, captain for Clun, and the ball comes off with the hurley of Paul Collins, and it's going to be a 65. So then the 65 going to be taken by Pádraig Collins, and another very good striker of the dead ball, Pádraig Collins, Newmarket and Fergus' top scorer this year. He got 9 points from playing the last group game against Aina Kilnamona. It was quite maybe for a quarter final against Cratloe, but played exceptionally well against St. Joseph's Dura Bearfield in Newmarket and Fergus's impressive victory in the county semi-final. And I'm sure Mike Mackey and his team of selectors will be looking at the likes of Pádraig Collins to draft into the Clare panel of 2009. Now there's high pulling up there. Clonlara didn't, or Newmarket and Fergus didn't like it. James McInerney is down on the sod. There was a late pull from one of the half forward line of Clonlara, and it's going to be a free out for Newmarket and Fergus. And I was speaking a few moments ago there about Pádraig Collins wearing 9 on his shirt back today for Newmarket. Equally as good from the sideline ball. Many people in Clare hurling even believe that giving away a sideline against Newmarket and Fergus with a fella like Pádraig Collins in their lineup is as bad as giving away a free against them, because he's usually as accurate with them and always nearly has the distance. We've yet to see him take one today. I'm sure we will in a few moments time. Now meanwhile there's a Clonlara man also down on the sod. I think it might be Tomás O'Donovan. No, in fact it's not Dara Honan either. I think it could be John Conlon who's down on the sod for Clonlara. Indeed it is. Conlon, however, is fit to resume his place in the game, and after Ger Hoy's stoppage, which was about a minute or so that we're going to see added on to the end of the first half here. And there's another man down. Conlon went back into his position. There was a bit of how do you doing from the Newmarket and Fergus cornerback, who was Anthony Kilmartin, Sconey. And Sconey doesn't go down easy, and I think an umpire or a linesman might have seen that, because he's going in to talk. It's Fergie McDonough from St. Joseph's is going in to talk to Ger Hoy. Now Sconey, Anthony Kilmartin is on the sod. Was there a strike at the hurley there? But there is a Newmarket and Fergus man down, and we'll see what Hoy is going to do with this. Now it would spoil John Conlon's day if he was to be sent off at this early stage, and could indeed spoil a county final. Ger Hoy is a good referee, got a good head in him. He doesn't get too excited, or the show isn't all about him, so we'll see what action he'll take here. He's definitely going to talk to John Conlon now. Early days yet, and especially maybe if it should or should not, whether right or wrong, if it influences a referee's decision. Clonlara are the trailing team in this tie. Now what could help John Conlon here is the fact that Anthony Kilmartin is nearly fit to get back to his feet, the cornerback. A good physical hurler, but in fairness to Anthony Kilmartin, he likes to play the ball from in front. A good man to read the play. And now we're going to see what Ger Hoy is going to do. In fact, I think he was going to talk to Anthony Kilmartin himself. Two big men in there, Anthony Kilmartin and John Conlon. Gone in, having a chat now with Ger Hoy, and I think we're going to see cards brandished here, but hopefully for the county final's sake that they'll be yellow and not red, and I think that's what Ger Hoy will do. And there is a wind, and The bad news for Clonlara supporters is if it's favouring anybody, it's favouring them in this first half, blowing from the town end down to the Tulla Road end of Cusick Park. So 2 yellow cards flashed, one for the man who was down on the side, Anthony Kilmartin, and the second for his marker, John Collin, who has switched places with Darragh Honan. Darragh Honan has come out to the half-forward position here on the right-hand side of the park. And after all the hubba-lubba, we have James McInerney taking the free from his half-back line, sends it up into his forwards where the hand of Martin Murphy goes up, but down with it comes Paul Nihill. That's a good ball into the middle of the park from Paul Nihill. On his left-hand side, Tomás O'Donovan has a look at the sticks. Tomás O'Donovan sends it high, but it's Todsy's third wide of this afternoon. A good pick out there from Paul Nihill, centre-back for the Clonlara team that reigned supreme in the Munster Provincial Intermediate Championship last year. Has moved out to the wing and has made space for Donal O'Donovan at centre half-back now, with Paul Nihill comfortable playing anywhere in the half-back line, as he's proved already. A good pulling by the same man down there on top of Martin Murphy, who plays a hand pass back towards Paddy Collins. Paddy Collins sends a dangerous ball into the Newmarket full forward line. Up goes the hand of Enda Kelly. It bounces down. The break of the ball will favour Diarmuid Conway, and it'll favour Clonlara. Clonlara on his left hand side sends the ball down towards Darragh Honan. John Collin is there with Honan. Now Honan has it up in his stick. This is where Honan is dangerous. 21 yards out from the goal. He's got the pace of James McInerney. Plays his way inside and puts it over the bar. And that just shows you when he gets going, he's like an ostrich nearly, Darragh Honan. That long stride of his, he's really able to burn up the ground. And that was just a small flicker of what Honan is able to do, and that was a half chance that was created on the 65-yard line away from the goals. And who knows, if his shot was lower, we could have had a tied match in Cusick Park. It's 1-2 to 2 points. Clonlara back in the tie. Up goes Cormac O'Donovan. Honan has it up in his stick again. Jab lifts it, but ball falls out of his hand. But back there to pick up the pieces, Nicky O'Connell. He'll play it into the full forward line. Stephen Kelly was blinded by the sun. Ball inside with Pat O'Hare, or Tommy Lynch it was, in fact. The same type of build. His father's a doggy man. I've often seen him in Limerick track. Tommy Lynch, he wins the free, and Clonlara all of a sudden are settled. They're after getting the ball twice into Darragh Honan. A great through ball by Nicky O'Connell there, picked out his full forward line. And we have a free, and it'll be Donal Madden's third opportunity of the day. He's put one over so far, and Donal Madden about to stand over his third. He had a crack at goal the last time, but of course the wise money beyond that, Madden will put this between the sticks and over the bar after 23 minutes of the county final. Below me I have two subs warming up for Newmarket and Fergus. Shawnee Arthur is one of them. Shawnee started the quarter final against Cratloe, had a very good first half indeed that day. He's been here before in a county final. He's warming up below. It's a bit early yet now to be taking off any of the 6 Newmarket forwards. They've all been in the game so far, and have the equal measure at least of the Clonlara's 6 defenders. Now the puck out comes from Kieran Devitt between the sticks for Newmarket. It's shorter this time, and the wind holds it up. Tomás O'Donovan plays it down into his half forward line. Back comes James McInerney, tries to get the shot away, and indeed does. Up it goes in between the 65 and the 40-yard line. Out for it comes Paul Nihill. Paul Nihill is playing very, very well at left half back. Plays the ball down, but Cormac O'Donovan was caught waiting for it. James McInerney bends low and jab lifts the ball and plays the ball through. Players really beginning to slip and slide down there as the pitch starts to cut up in Cusick Park. Up goes the hand of Murphy, or O'Hanlon. The ball eventually comes out to the half forward Colin Ryan, and Colin Ryan, who has been fairly quiet in the opening few minutes, had a snapshot there. There was a hook in on him, however, from Selin Nihill, and the ball goes off to the left hand side and wide. Donal O'Donovan is down in the middle of the park. Ger Hoy says he's fine to resume play, and there's going to be attention called in to Donal O'Donovan. He's played well. He's had 2 fantastic spirit lifting catches so far in this game, has Donal O'Donovan. A real ding dong battle between him and Paddy Vaughan on the 2 days out in the semi-final and the semi-final replay, and Donal O'Donovan came out of those games, I'd say, in Mike Mack's plans also for next season. Now Donal Madden down in the dirt and muck at this far corner, or this near corner of Cusick Park. James McInerney pirouettes out of the defence and comes away with another man that was involved in that under 21 tie this year. Here's the aforementioned Donal O'Donovan, has a look at the sticks. The ball came off the bottom of his boss, however. In it goes towards John Conlon. A great first touch by John Conlon. Tries to turn his man, has a look at the sticks. It's a great block, however, from the full back, who's Stephen Kelly. Eventually comes out towards Donal Madden. He's working at a harder angle this time, Donal Madden. He has a cut from a nearly impossible angle, Donal Madden, and it's good. It's a great point from Donal Madden, just beneath the shadow of the stand here in Cusick Park, and Donal Madden splits the sticks from an impossible angle and hauls Clonlara right back into this tie. So there's your nervous start. It's gone out the window now because the men from South East Clare by the Falls of Dunas are only a point down. I was listening to Clare FM last night, and they had Paddy Sheedy down there at Clonlara on it, talking about the 1955 team with the McCormicks in it. He was telling us it was a real breakthrough year for Clonlara. They won a junior championship that year, Junior A championship, which was the second tier of hurling in Clare at the time. Ball comes in towards Donal Madden, hot on his heels after getting that point a few minutes ago. Did he touch the ball on the ground? Tommy Lynch has it one-handed. The ball is in the net, and last year's intermediate champions are after reeling in the lead of Newmarket on Fergus, and fair juice to Tommy Lynch. Tommy Lynch was hauled down there. He even got a slap of a hurley. Now a fella looking for the free would have thrown himself on the ground and looked for the free and taken their chances with the penalty, but not Tommy Lynch. All he saw was the onion bag, and he's after rattling it, and all of a sudden Clonlara are after pulling themselves right back into this game, and the underdogs are 2 points up in Cusack Park. We're 4 minutes away from half time. Newmarket and Fergus are now the men chasing the game. They've got the free at the far side. It'll be Alan Barrett who's won it, and I presume James McInerney will go over and hit it. A long speculative dangerous ball went in between Donal O'Donovan and his man Kelly. Kelly was shaky enough under it, however. Madden, did he kind of handle the ball on the ground? You can look at the replay yourselves at home, but eventually it popped in towards Tommy Lynch. He got past 1, 2, 3 Newmarket and Fergus challenges, and eventually one-handed slapped the ball into the net past the oncoming Kieran Devitt. Clonlara, there are 2 points to the good, 1-4 to 1-2 after trailing for the entirety of this game up to now. John Conlon with the stick brings the ball down into his hand, tries to get past Stephen Kelly, plays advantage, says Ger Hoy. Conlon looks at the sticks, he sends it straight over the bar, and Clonlara salute the white flag. It took a while for the umpire to raise it, but they're now playing like a team that smells victory in a county final. It's early days yet, however. I told you at the start of the game that it was back in 1919 when the country was in civil war the last time they won it. They beat a Scariff team that by all reports were so complacent they went out on the eve of the match. It was above in the famed Tracy's Field in O'Callaghan's Mills village, and as I was saying, a lot of the Clonlara supporters would have passed it on their way to the county headquarters of Cusack Park here today. Martin O'Hanlon foraging for the ball out there. He doesn't come up with it, however. He had a blinder against St. Joseph's at midfield when he was brought onto the starting 15 in the county semi-final. Nicky O'Connell is really playing his way into this game in a big way. Tommy Lynch, the goal scorer, has it. Lynch looked towards Joe Hoey for the free but couldn't get it. Has it up a second time. Still Hoey gives no free, and away comes the bustling James McInerney, and eventually Hoey's whistle blows, but this time it's for Newmarket and Fergus. James McInerney was floored onto the ground by Tomás O'Donovan. A good ding-dong battle between the two of them, but it's a free out, and an opportunity for us to catch our breath in the Crow's Nest here in Cusack Park, and the free will be for Newmarket and Fergus. It's hard to say who's playing a blind or a good open hurling in these hard conditions, but 2 men that I have to pick out in the Clonlara team so far, and I'll add it to 3 because Tommy Lynch is after coming into this game in a big way in the last 5 minutes. 2 men are Nicky O'Connell at right half back and Paul Niall at left half back. There's an injury below us, and it is for one of those men, and that's Nicky O'Connell, who's been a mainstay of this Clonlara team all throughout, getting some attention there from the physios. Bridget Conlon, one of those, mother of John. So then we're about to resume play. James McInerney, now for the first time today, the boss turned in. James McInerney plays the ball up the far flank of the field. It's the right hand side where collecting it is Paul Collins. Can't get it up on the hurley, but eventually it comes back towards the Newmarket attacker Shane O'Brien, or Shane O'Brien's ball goes in, however, and under pressure it's tailed out over past the sticks on the left hand side and wide. Newmarket and Fergus, credit to them, they're trying to get themselves back into this game after the body blow of that Tommy Lynch goal a few moments ago. Trying to respond there with the shot from Shane O'Brien at centre half forward, and Ger O'Connell takes the puck out then. Puck out lands at the half forward line where Tomás O'Donovan goes up, pulled slightly early. Hoy says play on, however. Pádraig Collins and James McInerney trying to get the ball up down there. Comes out, however, only as far as Diarmuid Conway, or Cormac O'Donovan. In fact, it is Cormac O'Donovan for Clonlara. His shot, however, goes to the left hand side of the sticks and wide. There's a quick kick puck out from Kieran Devitt down on top of Colin Ryan, but reading it well was Nicky O'Connell. James McInerney has it, another man that was brought into the starting 15 against St. Joseph's Dora Bearfield and kept his place for the sterling performance for today's county final. Senan Niall, the ball gets plugged. You'd feel sorry for Niall there, he read it totally well. Now here come Newmarket and Fergus. Will they punish Clonlara with that? Shane O'Brien, he's on the 21. Maloney goes to meet him, but O'Brien, well, wise head on young shoulders. Shane O'Brien takes the right option, puts the ball square between the sticks and over the bar. And was there a chance maybe for a green flag there for Newmarket and Fergus? A slip in defence by Senan Niall, who ran over to the far side. His hurley got plugged in the ground and was unable to get the ball up, and in there to pick up the pieces like a true sniper was Shane O'Brien, but decides to be happy to take the point. And I'm sure his selection committee of Diarmuid O'Leary, Johnny Collins, Pat Freeman, Sean McInerney and Kieran O'Neill will thank him for that. They have a big sideline staff, Newmarket and Fergus, here this afternoon. That's a good ball in now from Martin Murphy all the way in as far as Gerald Connell, comes straight through the full forward line for Newmarket and Fergus. Gerald Connell racing away now, he's caught the ball twice already, he's got to play this one off the stick, fails through, so it's good pressure on him by Martin Murphy. Now there's no man between the sticks for Clonlara, that has a big boss. Martin Murphy plays the ball across to Enda Kelly with a 1-2 played. No, it's back towards O'Hanlon tries to get the ball up. Is it today David Barrett in fact, but he's a bit slow in delivering it, David Barrett, and Donal O'Donovan is rushing in to try and help out with Paul Niall and Senan Niall over there. Senan Niall taking his place on this Clonlara team after a good performance in the county semi-final against Crusheen. You'd feel sorry for Brian Woods. Brian Woods a real stalwart and a mainstay in this Clonlara side. I saw Woods playing in Munster Club last year, and he was one of the main reasons that Clonlara went to lifting that cup. He's hampered a little bit by a back injury, I believe, Brian Woods, but we could see him playing a part at some stage in this game this afternoon. If you're to go on, I suppose, strength and depth in panels, your money would have to be on Newmarket and Fergus. If you take a look through their bench, they've got a lot of talent on it. We see David Barrett already after making his way onto the opening 15, so that means that there's no place for Paula Kilmartin. He's got county experience at under 21 and minor level behind him, started the quarter final. Paula Kilmartin, now he's one of the many men on the Newmarket and Fergus bench that could be dangerous if brought into play here today. Another is Shane Liddy, Owen McInerney is there, Shawnee Arthur, I've mentioned him before. And of course number 31, a man that played in Croke Park only 2 years ago for Clare, and that's Bernard Gaffney. Now below us I see that Paul Niall is down on the side, so the two half-back lines, or the two half-backs for Clonlara have been in the wars early on. Both have been carrying injuries, but I think the Paul Niall will be fit to resume his play in the game. And indeed Paul Niall is up. They've been impressive along that half-back line, and I think that is one of the that's really the spine of this Clonlara team that has brought them to a county final today. Nicky O'Connell, Donal O'Donovan and Paul Niall. Now here is Cormac O'Donovan trying to come away with the ball, but Newmarket are foraging for it down there, and it's a free in for Clonlara, or for Newmarket and Fergus. So good patient play from Newmarket and Fergus there. It was David Barrett that eventually won the free, came out of a scrum with the ball, David Barrett, and he'll give the opportunity to Paula Collins to put Newmarket and Fergus only a point behind Clonlara, with no real purple patch for them so far, and they'll be going in buoyed by that at the interval as well. Paula Collins then will step down over this ball. He's about maybe just shy of 35 yards away from the goals. No real angle to play with Paddy Collins. Sun in his eyes if there is any of the conditions or the elements against him. Jabless the ball, bends low, sends it high and sends it through and over the black spot and over the bar in Cusack Park. So Newmarket are only a point adrift off last year's county intermediate champions. Back in 1994 was the last time that team just straight out of the intermediate ranks got as far as the county final, and that was St. Joseph's Durrell Bearfield. We saw the platform that lay for that great St. Joseph's team. The parish went on, of course, to win an All-Ireland senior club title in 1998, but of course there was the little matter of Shawnee McMahon, James O'Connor and Ollie Baker on that team as well. Senan Niall clears his lines very well on that occasion, all the way down in towards the goal scorer Tommy Lynch, but reading it very, very well this time is the Newmarket cornerback Brian Clancy. Newmarket and Fergus come away with it. It's high into the full forward line, where Colin Lynch or indeed Martin Murphy tries to get the ball up, but Paul Niall is back to his feet and back and fit and ready to play on. Gets the ball down, well read by James McInerney, beginning to dominate Todsey a small bit in this match. James McInerney, I speak too soon perhaps, however. Here's the brother to help him out, Cormac O'Donovan. The ball won't come up. Cormac too handy with one hand, I can tell you, in these conditions. Tomas O'Donovan plays it in on the right hand side in towards John Conlon. He's got a hand on him, John Conlon. Over there now it's Sconey Kilmartin. Conlon has it. There's 3 or 4 Newmarket men around him. The ball goes in off the upright and down and back into play. Stephen Kelly runs over. He's happy to shepherd over the dead ball line, and John Conlon calls 3. He had 3 against 1 stacked against his favour on that occasion. John Conlon, Donal Madden pleading with him for a hand pass. Maybe he was in a better scoring position, Conlon, but he did well to get the shot away, and it was only the width of the post that denied him. Now Jarhoey has blown the half-time whistle here in Cusack Park, and I can tell you, if anybody thought that Newmarket and Fergus or Clonlara or either team were going to come up here and get a bit of stage fright, they are wrong, because both have had their periods of dominance in the first half. Newmarket and Fergus led after an excellent goal after only 3 minutes of play from their corner forward Martin Murphy, but that was eventually reeled in after a goal at the other end by number 13, who was Tommy Lynch. So then at half time it's the underdogs who lead here in Cusack Park on a scoreline of Clonlara 1 goal and 5 points, Newmarket and Fergus 1 goal and 4. All the talking has been done at the half-time break and underneath us here in the stands of Cusack Park, and we're only 30 minutes away from crowning either Clonlara, Newmarket and Fergus as county champions and kingpins of Clare hurling for the year 2008. James McInerney plays the hand pass back towards his teammate Martin O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon plays the ball through. It's a super ball, and all of a sudden at the start of the second half, Newmarket and Fergus are level with Clonlara inside the very first minute. Martin O'Hanlon sets the ball straight over the bar, and what a tonic and what a way to start the second half. I'm sure there was a plenty of shouting and roaring and a bit of beckoning from Diarmuid O'Leary and Johnny Collins and Kieran O'Neill and the likes in the Newmarket and Fergus dressing room. Clonlara for their part have brought in All-Ireland medal winner in 1973 Liam O'Donoghue to help with their preparation coming into today's game, but there's no Clonlara man prouder than Jim Gully, and Jim Gully is after watching his team however trail, and all of a sudden when they went in at half time a point in front, they now see themselves in a 2 points turnaround, a point down, because Newmarket and Fergus are after coming out of the traps like bats out of hell in the second half, and we have a second score, and it's for their midfielder and number 9 Pádraig Collins. The puck out is taken by Ger O'Connell, and the bad news for Clonlara supporters is that they're after losing their lead. They're now trailing by a point, and the wind is beginning to thicken here in Cusack Park. Meanwhile, Shane O'Brien has the ball, pulls it straight and through in towards John Maloney at full back for Clonlara. Maloney goes down low, holds off the attention for a minute of Martin Murphy, and eventually wins a free out for his trouble, John Maloney. So Newmarket on Fergus, I think half-time couldn't have come at a better time for them, because Clonlara were really beginning to grow in confidence and were in the ascendancy, leading by a point. And it seemed like the game was only going one way, but the break has done Newmarket the power of good here. They're having their purple patch that we talked about, they're not having in the first half, and they've had it early in the second half. They lead 1-6 to 1-5. There's a late pull in there by a Clonlara man, and there's a bit of play acting, I think. 2 men going down, and neither of them really hit all that hard, I don't think. Certainly the second incident, James McInerney threw himself down like he was shot there. I don't think there's too much wrong with him. Playing a very, very good game at centre half back for Newmarket and Fergus today, James McInerney. He's back in his feet. However, the Clonlara man down there at the moment, not back on his yet. I think it could be their half forward, Pat O'Hare. No. Or is it Tomás O'Donovan, in fact? There's a cold chill after descending down on Cusack Park. That wind coming from the town end of the goal to the Tulla Road end of the goal beginning to strengthen, and it favours Newmarket and Fergus, so Clonlara are going to have to play into that in this half. So the free, which is originally for Newmarket and Fergus, was turned around. It was a throw in, but eventually they win it back again, and Pádraig Collins is going to take it. Now, I've watched Pádraig Collins hurling plenty of times, and I can tell you he will have the distance with this if the wind catches it from where he's standing. It certainly will be troubling not just the Clonlara full back line with their goalkeeper Ger O'Connell. So Pádraig Collins standing about 75 yards from his scoring goal, and he does have the distance. It's a lengthy ball from Pádraig Collins, and not only lengthy but it's accurate too, and Newmarket and Fergus have opened up their new lead now into 2 points. 1 goal and 7 for Newmarket, 1 goal and 5 for Clonlara. As predicted, it is a low scoring game, so 2 points are going to be hard come by, but of course if you've got the firepower of Dara Honan, Donal Madden and John Conlon, Tomás O'Donovan, just to name a few, and our goal scorer Tommy Lynch in the first half, that lead mightn't be long being whittled down at all. But it's Newmarket and Fergus who are the top dogs at the moment. James McInerney working like a Trojan over there. Tomás O'Donovan has it, tries to worm his way forward with the ball on the hurley, can't get it up at second time of asking, and his marker eventually is shipped off with a frontal charge by Dara Honan. There's a bit of afters in there, and James McInerney for the second time has gone down. Dara Honan gone down himself. There was a little bit of revenge tactics maybe carried out on Dara Honan, but nothing too below the guise of the law. So I think that both players will be ready to resume their part in this game. Gerhoy waiting for them to do so. And the good news for Newmarket is they have got the free out, and it's Pádraig Collins who scored from a similar position, only about 5 yards further back or further in towards goal from this a few moments ago, as a repeat chance from a very, very similar position to throw the ball between the sticks and open up Newmarket and Fergus lead to 3. So then Collins stands over the ball. He's about 78, 79 yards from his scoring goal. This time it's a high jab lift from Collins, and this one is lengthy. It'll go in around the goal mouth. Ger O'Connell does very, very well. A good chest catch from Ger O'Connell, who plays the ball out towards his half forward Pat O'Hare. Up goes the hand of O'Hare. No, it's the Hurley. Stands down over the ball, ships it on a little bit towards Tomás O'Donovan's wing. Coming over is Tommy Lynch. Tommy Lynch gets the ball in his hand. Now he's a live wire, Tommy Lynch. There's options available for him. One of them is in front of John Conlon. Conlon's got it up. He's getting inside the Newmarket full back line, and eventually he's happy to take the point, so the lead is back to 1. John Conlon, very committed hurler for Clonlara. If there was mountains, and there is down around Clonlara and Kilban direction there, John Conlon has ran him. A real dedicated player and equal to the cause on that occasion. Sends the ball between the sticks and over the bar, John Conlon, and Newmarket and Fergus lead is back and pared down to just a single point. A good pick up on that occasion by O'Connell. Now here comes Donal O'Donovan. It's a good hand pass away towards Nicky O'Connell. Nicky O'Connell goes back inside the Newmarket cover to try and relieve his clearance, but battling for him or with him for the ball over there is Colin Ryan. Colin Ryan plays it away quite in the first half, Colin Ryan, but kind of a big part to play in the game very, very late on. Ball comes out to the near stand side of the field. Working his way in his Owen Hayes. Owen Hayes plays the ball across the face of the goal. James McInerney's bat takes it away from him, however, and John Maloney eventually picks up the pieces. The game is after quickening. The pace is up. That's certainly blow for blow. Clonlara equal physically to the Newmarket challenge, but not on the scoreboard. Eventually the ball comes back towards Martin O'Hanlon. It's a great ball by Martin O'Hanlon. The crowd below us liked it, but the umpires don't, and the ball eventually tails off to the right hand side. And after 6 minutes of the second half, it is Newmarket and Fergus's first wide in this second half. I told you he was warming up in the first half, and he's about to be introduced into this game. Shawnee Arthur with 17 on his back from a famous hurling household down there in Newmarket and Fergus. Shawnee, and a real pacey attacker. James McInerney blocks the ball down. Where will Shawnee Arthur come into this game, and who will it be for? One or two of the Newmarket players not playing up to scratch, but at the same time those Newmarket and Fergus forwards have serious potential. And like Dara Honan, I saw it in Munster Club last year. Honan could be having a very quiet 58 minutes and would turn the game and win a few in the space of 2 minutes. At last we're going to see this showcase of sideline ball. I hope I don't put the curse on Paddy Collins. There's hard pulling down there below us. Referee Ger Hoy tells the two players in the middle of the field, Diarmuid Conway and James McInerney, to cut it out. Let's get on with the hurling, lads. It gives Paddy Collins a few more seconds to stand over this ball, and if I'm right, and if he cuts this the same way he's been cutting them all year, this one could indeed be going over the bar for Newmarket and Fergus. It's like giving away a free. I remember a Galway hurler that was part of the tribesman panel a few years ago called Ger Farrer. He was able to do this. Paddy Collins, no, this time it goes low, but it's a hard ball. Inside it comes, and Paul Niall is out there, or is it Nicky O'Connell? Plays the ball away towards Cormac O'Donovan. Has trouble getting the ball up first time. Eventually releases it out towards Senan Niall. A good attacking ball from Senan Niall up towards John Conlon. Stephen Kelly in over the shoulder of John Conlon. The ball is eventually played away. Some digging after the ball down there, but we're wave play on. Brian Clancy got it up as far as the corner forward, Martin Murphy. Martin Murphy has a look at the goal. Second time of asking. Gets it in towards Colin Ryan, but John Maloney kicks it out towards Paul Niall, and Paul Niall clears another ball out of defence. Clonlara defence really standing up to the Newmarket attack early in this second half. Tommy Lynch can't get the ball, and here comes James McInerney, comes out of defence with it, plays the ball to his side towards Martin O'Hanlon, playing well at midfield. Martin O'Hanlon sends a ball long and down at the near side of the field, but Owen Hayes, who's come into the Newmarket and Fergus team, Owen Hayes unable to pick that one up. Owen Hayes has come into the Newmarket and Fergus team for Enda Kelly, so he was hotly fancied in the Newmarket and Fergus side and in bookmakers in around East Clare to be one of the goal scorers in this game. He's bagged a few of them in the last 3 rounds consecutively, but not today. Shawnee Arthur still waiting to come into the Newmarket and Fergus team, as is number 11 Pádraig Kilmartin, who's warming up low. A physical player, Pádraig Kilmartin. His father Michael was part of the famous Newmarket and Fergus set up in the 1960s and 70s. They've got a bag of county medals down in the Kilmartin house, and just for equal measure, his mother Pauline, a fantastic camogie player with the Aroga Venice in her day as well. Now there's a bit of afters below us. Ger Hoy is going to get a talk, or going to give a talking to some of, and we'll wait and see what action Hoy will take. So then the man down on the floor is Cormac O'Donovan. Cormac O'Donovan, one of the two twins who were away in America for the summer, and a lot of people over in Clonlara, not being arrogant or anything, that they put down their defeat in the group stages in Clarecastle, a 7-point defeat to Crusheen, to the absence of the O'Donovans. Well, one thing is for certain, those people who thought that were proved right, because they've had a more settled ship since the O'Donovans came back into the fray, and just to prove it to us, they went on and beat Crusheen in the semi-final after 2 days of hurling. Now below us, Donal Madden, an accurate free taker. Donal Madden standing over this ball. will have a chance to strike it. He's 50 yards from the goal. Donald Madden in a central position. Won't be an easy one though, because he's got the wind to his face, and if he manages to find the target here, the teams are level after 10 minutes exactly of the second half in Cusack Park. Madden, however, his role if wasn't the greatest, decides to play a ball out as far as Pat O'Hare, but Pat O'Hare can't get it up first time. Some nervous play from Clonlara, and they could regret that, because the ball is in Newmarket and Fergus's hands, and James McInerney comes away with it, playing a great game at centre half back today for Newmarket. Sets up Shane O'Brien came out and read the ball well, has got men inside him if he needs them. Shane O'Brien plays the ball in, he'll let go over the head of Senan Niall in towards Colin Ryan, but Gerald O'Connell has time. He plays a hand pass away towards Senan Niall. This is Senan Niall, so it was Paul Collins at the far side. A low ball in towards his midfielder Diarmuid Conway. Diarmuid Conway sets up Newmarket and Fergus again. Darragh Honan, the ball batted out of his hands towards John Conlon. Maybe they'll have the chance to level matters from play. John Conlon bearing his way down 40 yards out from goal. Still going John Conlon. He's got plenty of pace to the Clonlara man, and there was a trip. I thought the referee was going to give the free the other way. Maybe John Conlon took more than the legal 4 steps, but referee Ger Hoey says he did so because he was being fouled by a Newmarket man in pursuit, and Clonlara, and thankfully for Diarmuid Madden, or Donald Madden, have a chance to make up for the lost chance a few moments ago and tie the game up at 1-7 apiece. 1-7-6 it stands. Newmarket and Fergus in the ascendancy. Now meanwhile, there is a change being made on the Newmarket and Fergus team, and Pádraig Kilmartin is going to go in at half back, and making his way off the team is David Barrett. Pádraig Kilmartin has played much of this season's County Hurling Championship. The ball has gone over the bar. Everybody in Cusack Park didn't know exactly where it went. It's gone over the bar though, and the sides are level. We've got a stalemate situation on the scoreboard again here in Cusack Park. Just tell you a little bit, Pádraig Kilmartin played a lot of his hurling in attack for Newmarket and Fergus, and indeed last year, in this year and last year's Senior Hurling Championship, but back in his traditional place in defence. James McInerney plays the ball out towards Martin O'Hanlon. Just one route for Martin O'Hanlon, and it's a central one, but he's well shepherded over there by Tommy Lynch, who gives all his cause along with Nicky O'Connell to the Clonlara cause. Back it goes. Senan Niall is there. Was there a chop? Tommy Lynch comes away with the ball, but only sets up a Newmarket man with it, and the Newmarket man is Martin O'Hanlon. Plays the ball back towards Colin Lyon, but there's 1, there's 2, there's 3 Clonlara men there in numbers. Now this will be a serious lift for Clonlara's spirit. Donald O'Donovan plays the ball out of defence. Up it goes towards John Conlon, not for the first time today. He goes up one-handed with the hurley and parries the ball down into his possession, but James McInerney, he's been every bit as effective as any Clonlara man on the team for Newmarket and Fergus. Tries to get it up. It's Darragh Honan tries to get it up as well. Now Madden eventually has it. The full forward for Clonlara, 1 point already to his credit today. The crowd like it, and they're right to like it. How are you doing, Donald Madden? He sends the ball over the bar, and Clonlara are after reeling in Newmarket and Fergus once more, and after going in front. And what a score. But I think it was the way that they got that score that's going to give Clonlara a serious lift, because it was Newmarket who had the attack below us, and Donald O'Donovan, because of the work of Tommy Lynch, who has got number 13 on his back and was helping his team out in defence. Because of that, Donald O'Donovan came away with the ball and set up the point for Donald Madden, but Pádraig Collins has got a chance to reply. Ger O'Connell tells Senan Niall to leave it off, and indeed he does, and the ball tails out harmlessly to the right hand side of the sticks and wide. Clonlara have their noses in front again in Cusack Park in this low scoring encounter. It's 1-8 to 1-7 they lead. A look at the clock tells us there's nearly 14 minutes of this second half played. Newmarket and Fergus have been in this situation before, and some people say that experience can stand to you, but of course you can get some bad memories flooding back as well. Now there's a change being made on the Clonlara team. Pat O'Hare is making his way off to the sideline. He's worked tirelessly today, as Pat O'Hare, well done to him. And taking his place inside will be Barry Maloney. Barry Maloney came on and scored a point in the drawn match against Crusheen, played well that day, and has staked a claim to be a part of this 15 that could eventually end an 89-year gap here in Cusack Park today. The ball comes out towards Tomás O'Donovan, battling for it hard over there with Pádraig Kilmartin. Tomás O'Donovan gets a low ball into his full forward line. Darragh Honan goes down, but Donald Madden can't get it up either, and away comes Enda Barrett eventually. John Conlon tries to roll lift the ball. I think we're going to have a hail of rain in Cusack Park. Pádraig Collins taps the ball out of defence in front of him. It was a clever ball. James McInerney really coming into it in the second half, but not on this occasion. He gives the ball to his marker, who's Nicky O'Connell. Nicky O'Connell has a look at the sticks. David doesn't like it, the umpires do, and one thing's for certain, the Clonlara support in Cusack Park do as well, because they're back in the lead and they're after stretching a lead to 2 points. It's 1-9 to 1-7. Is it deja vu for Newmarket? But here comes their attacker, number 15, Martin Murphy, and Martin Murphy underneath the pressure has put the ball wide for the Blues, and that's disappointing for the Newmarket management team. It was quick thinking by Kieran Devitt. He picked out Martin Murphy, who scored the goal early on in this game, but on that occasion the ball tails off to the right hand side of the sticks, away from Gerald Connell's goal frame and wide. Clonlara, they have their noses in front. They're against the breeze, which I did tell you was stiffening up in this second half, and they've been in a situation like this at intermediate level and the provincial level before. They know what it's like to win game. They don't mess up the course when they have their noses in front. Unfortunately, it's not that Newmarket do, but we haven't seen before how they react when they're 2 points behind in the last quarter of a game. We saw it in the quarter final in 6 Mile Bridge against Cratloe, and a goal by Enda Kelly before half time that day brought Newmarket back into it, and they did finish the stronger. And one of the men that actually finished off the game for Newmarket by scoring a point that day was Bernard Gaffney, and they still have him in their armoury below us on the bench, yet to bring into the game. This ball from Paddy Collins tails off to the right hand side of the post and wide. It was a tricky enough ball for Collins to hit. He's hit them very, very well all day, but doesn't find a white flag on this occasion. A look at the clock tells us there is a quarter of an hour gone in the second half. We're halfway through the second period of the 2008 county final, and Gerald Connell has a puck out for his side, plays it to the brother. The brother is Nicky. A low ball, and Nicky sends a high ball up to the half-forward line where Dara Honan, was there a nudge on the back by Anthony Kilmartin on Honan? Kilmartin, or in fact it's Enda Barrett who's gone back to take up Honan in the second half, plays the ball down towards his attack. Donald O'Donovan runs past it as the ball gets stuck in the mud. Martin Murphy is out there battling for it as well. Eventually Nicky O'Connell comes away, and a big roar from the far side of the field signals that Nicky O'Connell was fouled and put down to ground illegally, and Clonlara have themselves a free out of their defence, which Nicky O'Connell himself will stand over. He'll send a booming ball in towards his full forward line to try and bring Honan into the game again. Up went the hurley of Honan, parried it inside, but Stephen Kelly is waiting to pick up the scraps. Kelly plays down towards James McInerney. Nicky O'Connell tries to play McInerney from in front and eventually gets the break of the ball, luckily maybe, but wins it instead. Ball goes in towards Donald Madden. Madden pulls in it, but Stephen Kelly is there to pick up the pieces in defence for Newmarket and Fergus again. Played in the county final of 2 years ago in attack. Stephen Kelly more comfortable in defence and playing very well today. Tomas O'Donovan, there was a foul on O'Donovan. There's a hurley broken. One of the Barretts, I think it was Enda Barrett, fouls Tomas O'Donovan, and it's going to be a free in. The free in is for Clonlara, and believe it or not, or would you believe it, that will give Clonlara a chance to stretch their lead in the 2008 county final against Newmarket and Fergus by 3 points. It's 1-9 to 1-7. That's how it stands. All the money during the week was on Newmarket and Fergus. They have been in this situation before. They have held their senior status for years longer than Clonlara, who just came out of intermediate last year. They do have the tradition, but it's because of tradition, I think, and because of their scant regard for it, that Clonlara are this far and aren't tripping over the obstacle of stage fright of being in the county final. Clonlara have given no thought to tradition. They didn't do it in the quarter final when they beat Kilmaley. They didn't do it in the semi-final when they beat Crusheen after 2 days of hurling, and they're not doing it today, taking on the aristocrats of Clare Hurling, who won the blue ribbon of hurling in Clare 22 times, the last in 1981. Well, the most recent be turned to 2008. They've got a lot of hurling to do in the last 10 minutes if that's to be the case, because they trail by 2 points. There's going to be a free in for the hurley, or the jersey holding, on Shane O'Brien. Shane O'Brien on the 40 for Newmarket and Fergus. He'll leave the free off, and it'll be to Paddy Collins, and it's an easier free for Paddy Collins on this occasion. Jab lifts the ball and sends it, as you'd expect Paddy Collins to do, in between the sticks and over the bar, and so then it's down to the wire once again. We've got a lead, but the lead is still for Clonlara, 1-9 to 1-8. That could settle the ship for Newmarket a bit. They've been trying to get some of their attack more and more into the game in this second half, namely James McInerney at left half forward, and he has been doing very well on probably Clonlara's most effective hurler in the first half, Nicky O'Connell. The ball goes long, Paul Nihill goes up to try and pull in it, but there to collect it is Tommy Lynch. Tommy Lynch puts a ball right down into the corner, but the bounce of the ball will beat Donald Madden, and after a good fetch by Tommy Lynch, it's a bit of a wasteful ball for a finish, because it's gone out for a Newmarket and Fergus sideline. And that Clonlara ball, or full forward line, they like ball in front of them, like Tommy Lynch, if he was just able to keep that within the confines of the pitch here in Cusick Park. Now Pádraig Kilmartin on the Newmarket and Fergus team in the last 10 minutes is going to take the sideline chip. It's a great sideline chip by Pádraig Kilmartin. They must be practicing that there down in Father Murphy Park. Donald O'Donovan comes away with it, sends it into Honan. Ball hops in front of Dara Honan. Now every time this man gets the ball, there's an expectation from the crowd, and that's exactly why. Stephen Kelly remonstrating with Ger Hoy for holding is what Hoy says. The free is given away for Kelly. Some people would say did well and stood his ground, but a referee in the history of the GA has never changed their mind, and Stephen, they're not going to start today. And 10 further yards for Donald Madden to bring him closer into the goal is the end result. It's a free, and a free is going to be Clonlara, so they get a chance to restore their 2-point lead here. They lead by 1-9 to 1-8. Donald Madden, with that familiar style of his, he'll stand right behind the ball, he'll have a look at the sticks, he'll trot up slowly and casually, walking to the ball, he'll roll lift it, and off of his right hand side he sends it over the bar like that more often than not, and indeed he's done it again on this occasion. Donald Madden has indeed brought their point tally into double figures for the day. Clonlara, their goal, remember, came after 17 minutes. Tommy Lynch, it was the man who scored it past this man Kieran Devitt, who takes a very, very long puck out. That's a good puck out down in front of the high fielder James McInerney can't get it up at first time of asking, but he's going to be helped by Colin Ryan on this occasion. But away comes Nicky O'Connell, and not for the first time today. Diarmuid Conway's over the ball. He's got a brother hurling for the Smiths. Smith O'Brien's in Killaloe, hurled a bit with Partine and Broadford, I think, or well, certainly Partine on one occasion himself. Still, plenty of people from Partine and a neighbouring parish in Clonlara here to watch the man they call Mush Hurswell hurling today into Brenna County Senior Hurling Medal, back for the first time in a long time to that corner of the county. Indeed, the last time was when this crowd, Clonlara, were last in it in 1919, 89 years ago, when they beat Scariff in Tracy's Field in O'Callaghan's Mills. It could all be ended today, but Paddy Collins, not if he's got anything to do with it. Off of his right hand side, has a look at the sticks, but he snapshotted it, drew across the ball, and the ball goes out to the right hand side of the post and wide. He had a little bit more time than he thought there, perhaps, Paddy Collins, for Newmarket and Fergus. 110 to 1-8. Clonlara lead. It's all going to come down to the last few minutes, and we're in the last 9 minutes of the county hurling final. Are we going to have a new name on the Canon Hamilton Trophy, a name that nobody would have put a few pound on at the start of the year, or nobody except inside the confines of this hurling setup, which has been blazing a trail through Clare hurling the last 15 months? And as I say so, one of the men most prominent in that trailblaze has been John Conlon, and John Conlon is on the ball again, and John Conlon, for his efforts and valiance, wins a free, and the free will be for Donald Madden, and the free will be for Clonlara. Jim Gully, he doesn't like to get too scientific. You don't have to have a degree in trigonometry to look at some of the Clonlara warm-ups. Jim Gully is a man with his heart in the right place, and it shows you that sometimes simple methods can bring a team this far. He's a man steeped in the committee and in the hurling circles in Clonlara all his life, Jim Gully. He's brought them to a final today with Niall Hogan and Kieran Whelan as selector, and Bridget Connon helping out on the sideline as well. Another man that has helped them has been Mungret's Liam O'Donoghue, who gained an All-Ireland medal with neighbouring Limerick in 1973, and you can see the effect that troop of management has had on this Clonlara team, because there are 3 points to the good in the county final. 8 minutes are left on the clock. It's a high ball across the hand of Donald O'Donovan. Hoy blows his whistle. Now, it was a hard challenge, and I've no doubt that Donald O'Donovan, who's a tough warrior, is hurt on that, but was it on the ball? Number 19, David Barrett, is going to get a talking to from Ger Hoy. And I think with his name going down in the book, he could have a yellow card brandished here. Donald O'Donovan has had a powerful game for Clonlara so far this afternoon, and Barrett was bought out maybe to try and man that, not illegally, but pulling high in the air. Donald O'Donovan, he'd be a big loss to this Clonlara setup. He went down after a belt just beneath the hand on the inside of the wrist. I think Donald O'Donovan getting some attention down there now from Bridget Conlon, and Niall Hogan is in there, is he? The free is going to be for Clonlara, is it? Hoy blew the whistle late, but I think it was more because of the injury than the actual altercation that Hoy blew the whistle. Now Nicky O'Connell is standing over it, and he has the slitter in his hand, so I wonder, is Nicky O'Connell going to hit the free? What a fairy tale it would be. We're 7 minutes off of one of the greatest breakthroughs in Clare hurling that has been seen since they last done it 89 years ago. We had a fairy tale here last year when the men from the Hill of Tulla, against the opinions of the purists, made their way all the way to Cusack Park on a county final day and accounted for Crusheen to bring it home for the first time in 79 years. Well, Clonlara have had to wait 10 years longer than that to bring it down to the southeast corner of the county, and they have only got, well, of normal time they've only got 6 left, but with the attention being given to Donald O'Donovan now, it's going to add a few minutes to the discretion of Ger Hoy, and we're going to be a little bit longer. I think we're going to have a few minutes of injury time here in Cusack Park today, so it heightens the chances for Newmarket to get back into the game. It's 1-8 to Newmarket 111 for Clonlara. Newmarket below me thinking about making a switch on their team. Donal O'Donovan is back on his feet and he gets a rapturous welcome back into the game from the large Clonlara contingent here in Cusack Park. But the news below us is that Bernard Gaffney, I see him strolling down the sideline and warming up, a real danger man. And what, as I said earlier, what a fella to be able to bring off the bench into your attack late on in the game. We'll see what part he'll have to play in the last 5 minutes of this match. He's heavily bandaged. Now up goes the hand of John Conlon, plays the ball out towards this side, but Newmarket and Fergus come away with it, and the man in possession is Owen Hayes, who clears his lines down as far as David Barrett. David Barrett plays it into the corner. Colin Ryan, it's a good first touch and a nice careful first touch by Colin Ryan, threw up the ball and caught it, and I think he knew straight away when he did it, Colin Ryan. Just a little bit of hesitancy, but in fact Colin Ryan has actually won the free. Hoey's arm is outstretched for Newmarket and Fergus. I think it might have been because of a late pull on him. A late pull on him perhaps by Paul Collins, was it, or was it Cormac O'Donovan? Anyhow, Newmarket and Fergus and Paddy Collins have a chance to pull themselves within 2 points of the leaders, and Paddy Collins does that. It's 111 to 1-9, so all to play for still here in Cusack Park. And I'm from neither Newmarket and Fergus or Clonlara, and I'm even nervous at this stage. The ball will be poked out from Ger O'Connell, who'll take his time in doing so. His team in front, and he's going to be longer in doing so now, because the man coming on the Newmarket and Fergus team is Bernard Gaffney, part of the Clare Hurling senior setup 2 years ago under the eye of Tony Considine. He's going to go in at top of the right, or top of the left, is he? No, he's going to go in at full forward. And who's the man making his way off the team? Is it Paddy Collins in midfield for Newmarket and Fergus? It is Paddy Collins, so the free taker has been withdrawn. Newmarket and Fergus going to have to try and win this from play, it seems. And there's going to be a throw in on the 40-yard line. So Bernard Gaffney goes in full forward. John Maloney, he soldiered hard with Bernard Gaffney before in Clare underage teams. John Maloney, he'll have marked him in training. A strong physical presence himself as John Maloney. So they take up each other at the edge of the square, down at the far end, or the Tulla Road end here of the field, where Newmarket and Fergus are scoring into to try and pull this county final out of the fire, because they trail by 2 points at the minute. There's another injury. The injury this time is for Donal O'Donovan. I think he's still suffering the effects of the challenge on him a few moments ago. So there's going to be a throw in. Ger Hoey stands over the ball, and Tommy Lynch is in there. He's mad for ball. Is Tommy Lynch, or is it in fact it's Senan Niall? Is it now? The ball comes back on the Newmarket side. Diarmuid Conway is there, tries to come away with it. Mush can't field it up first time. However, John Conlon is there, and Ger Hoey is surely going to have to throw in the ball there. There was men pushing and shoving. No sign of a ball, or no sign of a fella coming out with the ball, more importantly. So Hoey is going to throw it back in again. And you could expect another shamazel here unless somebody wins it cleanly and quickly. The ball is going to be thrown then by the Killanena referee, telling the other players get back there 10 yards, and that might indeed lessen the chances of another scrum it down in the middle of the pitch there. And the ball does indeed scupper out. Away comes Colin Ryan with it. Referee waves play on. Colin Ryan was brought down onto the side. Tommy Lynch plays the ball out of defence. Now I think he threw up the ball and caught it, or was there a late third man challenge there? Either way, it's going to be a free for Newmarket and Fergus, and a chance to go within a point of Clonlara. And this is real nail-biting time here. Now Paddy Collins isn't on the pitch. He's the expert free taker for Newmarket and Fergus, so the duty is going to fall onto Colin Ryan instead. And not the greatest of times to be taking your first free of the county final with 2 minutes to go and you're 2 points down on the scoreboard. But Colin Ryan, still the duty falls on his shoulders. He's at a bit of an angle. With them ones close in, with the crowd breathing down your neck, can be some of the hardest frees to take. So Colin Ryan is standing over it, and this will bring the county final and to a point between the teams. Colin Ryan sends it wide. The crowd like it at the far side of the field. A nervous strike from Colin Ryan, but not easy for Colin Ryan, a free taker, a second choice free taker on the Newmarket and Fergus team to take. Now that could be Clonlara let off the hook. Ger O'Connell, he'll take his time picking out a slitter out of the bag. You can be sure of that with this one. Clonlara still 2 points up. They might never get the chance again, as the chance that they have beneath us here in Cusack Park today to come this close to bring back the Canon Hamilton. The ball comes down towards Tommy Lynch. Tommy Lynch hand passes away over the head of Colin Ryan, and in it comes towards Cormac O'Donovan. A good hand pass out, but Colin Ryan does very well to feel it back there with Alan Barrett, or Enda Barrett for Newmarket and Fergus. Is he lying in the ball? Referee Hoy, no, he can see the ball. Battling for it now is James McInerney at centre half back. Still the ball won't come up for either side down there, and there's a stalemate situation. John Conlon has his eye on it. Is the ball plugged? No, it's still out there, and this is Well, there's no real commentating to be done, this kind of play, and referee now eventually comes into the hand of Dara Honan, the one man you did want to come out with it. He's going to go a long way around trying to go in with the ball. Dara Honan takes the shot, it's gone between the sticks, it's gone over the bar, and they can feel it now, they can feel it. I see Jim Gully below me, and he'd take on any Clonlara fella for a place on this team with Jim Gully. Now the referee Hoey is waving play on at the other end of the field. He didn't see the puck out being taken, and I think he's going to go all the way back up to get Devitt to take it again. Hoey was facing in the opposite direction. I think we're on the verge of history here, because the clock tells me we are in injury time in the 2008 county final. They didn't even win the Canon Hamilton the last time they were in it. The cup didn't exist until the 1960s, 68 I think it was, but we'll call it a county senior hurling championship all the same, and we're on the verge of seeing Clonlara, against everybody's betting, come up and bring it back to South East Clare here today. Tommy Lynch, he's the smallest man on the pitch, is Tommy Lynch, but the biggest man going up with that ball. He tries to play it away, the ball is plugged in the dirt. James McInerney won't give up on it, he's still foraging for it down there. John Conlon roll lifts it one-handed. There'll be no tired legs in Clonlara, because I think they can scent the victory in front of them. Dara Honan goes down on 65 yards out from his attacking goal, but James McInerney, a true warrior, comes away with the ball. He's going to go looking for a goal, is James McInerney. There was a late challenge, a frontal charge. Nicky O'Connell's shoulder is hurt. I suppose if there is a good free to give away, there never is maybe, but if there is a good free to give away, that would be one of them. O'Connell threw his body in the line of James McInerney and stopped the goal chance from happening. I think he's worse for wear because of it, and who would have believed that I'd be talking about Nicky O'Connell hoping to be playing Munster Club next week as Clare County champions on a journey to Cork. He's gone down with a shoulder injury there, is Nicky O'Connell. Colin Ryan is going to have his second free of the afternoon, but surely with 2 minutes on my clock into injury time gone, Colin Ryan is going to have to drop this one in, because 3 points separate the sides. Clonlara, what would their price have been at the start of this year when 20 teams set out looking for a Canon Hamilton? They were the intermediate champions. Better maybe than a lot of the existing senior teams, and they knew that themselves, but were they this good to get this far? I don't think there's too many people thought it back when the county championship started in June, and if they did think it back then, they should have hopped down to Paddy Powers and they'd be a rich man now, that's for certain. Colin Ryan stands over the ball. Nicky O'Connell's shoulder is cracked. He'll have to use the other hand below and stitches to lift a few points of Porter tonight, but he's okay. He's going to go back in and take up his place in defence. He doesn't want to miss the last few minutes, or will Colin Ryan have the last say? It's a dangerous ball. Look who's underneath it. Nicky O'Connell it is. He bats it away. John Conlon throws his body in front of the ball. Diarmuid Conway comes away with it. Heroes one and all in the black and amber at the minute. Conway gets away the ball. It'll drop in front of Shane O'Brien. Shane O'Brien jab lifts it. Bears down on goal. That's surely a foul on Shane O'Brien. No. Referee waves play advantage. And Shane O'Brien, fair juice to him, he gets up and he's going bearing down on goals again. He takes a hard knock, Shane O'Brien, and plays the hand pass out towards the number 17 who's into the play, and that's Shawnee Arter. But there's Clonlara men queuing up to be the last Clonlara men to hit a ball. It's over. I don't believe it. It's all over at Cusack Park. I see Jim Gully below me. There won't be a dry tear in the stand below me at Cusack Park. They have done the impossible. Clonlara are intermediate county champions from last year, and I see Donald Madden running over to the fence to Clonlara supporters at the other side of the wire. We are watching a fairy tale unfold here. Commiserations to Newmarket and Fergus. They've been here before. It's terribly disappointing, especially when you have the pressure of tradition over you. Well, Cusack Park has been unplayable all week. There won't be any hurling match played on it for the rest of 2008, but you're about to see it being cut up even more than any match, because Clonlara men and women and children are going to make their way onto it in a minute and see their captain, who's Paul Collins, unbelievably lift the Canon Hamilton Senior Hurling Championship title in Clare. I'm nearly breathless myself. The title is going back to South East Clare, totally unexpected. They came here today not given much of a chance against possibly the aristocrats of Clare Senior Hurling, Newmarket and Fergus. A valiant Newmarket and Fergus team, but surely a gutted one at the moment. But the day belongs to the black and amber. No longer will the men of 1919 be talked about. It'll be the men of 2008. Back in 1919 they defeated Scariff. There was a P. Dillon, a P. O'Shea, a Jack O'Shea captained the side, a Tom O'Shea, a Pat Mason, a Michael Burke, Jimmy Crowe, Mick O'Shea. D. Crow, J. Burke, T. O'Shea, J. Mernan, J. McCormack, P. Stritch and C. O'Brien, but the names nowadays are O'Connell, Maloney, Collins, Niall, Donovans, O'Connells, Woods, Conways, O'Hares, Conlons, Lynches, Maddens and Honans. They're new heroes down in Clonlara. They are the 2008 County Senior Hurling Champions by a goal.
Can we get the attention? I know Clonlara are celebrating out there. Can we get your attention there for difficult? We had some dreadful weather during the week, but both teams went out there today and they gave it their all. And hats off to both sides. They both deserve a big round of applause for the commitment they showed out there. Commiserations to Curragh-Kathleen. You gave it everything. You were there right up to the finish. Anything could have happened. You could have come back and won it. On the day, it's Clonlara's day. They've won the Canon Hamilton Trophy. And I think after a gap of 89 years, everybody will congratulate them on their achievement. So well done to Clonlara on your achievements on that. Also to the Raitor, Ger Hoy and his team of officials. Well done, Ger. Very well done. Martin Flanagan, the caretaker here in Cusick Park, and his staff. Martin has done tremendous work here over the last number of weeks. The weather hasn't been very kind to us over the last couple of months, I suppose, since August. So Martin, well done again, and you did fantastic work for today. I'm not going to delay you. It has been, I suppose, a roller coaster 2 or 3 years, 2 years in particular for Clonlara. And I think to all the other clubs out there who have aspirations of winning senior championships, there is no better role model at this stage than Common Low Class Scale Clonlara as a real model for winning titles, intermediate in 2007 and senior in 2008. You cannot ask or much better than that. So Clonlara and every other club in the county and every club who has taken part in the senior championship this year should take example from that and go on and follow in their footsteps. Also to Clonlara, before I present the cup to Paul Collins, can I wish them the best of luck when they represent Clare in the Munster Championship next week. Next Sunday they will represent their county, and I've no doubt they will do that with the same pride as they've done today for their club and as they've done it last year when they were representing Clare for the Intermediate Championship. Once again, commiserations to Newmarket and Fergus. You gave it your all. It wasn't your day, so commiserations to you. I'll now hand the trophy over, the Canon Hamilton Trophy, over to Paul Collins, Captain, Common Low Class Scale, Clonlara.
Pass on down on my bench, and you. I was on Courage Shaw Glock here, son, fair Clonlara. What a year. A lot can happen in a year. World economy is shattered, the price of oil gone up, birthday is gone. But the most significant thing to happen in Clonlara was a group of boys got together earlier this year. They set out targets, they took on some responsibility, they grew a pair of balls, and they're here before you as men today. Woo! Canon Hamilton was born and reared in Clonlara, as you know. I'm delighted to say that Maura O'Connell, his niece, is here with her son John. Maura, we haven't won this cup before. This cup's gone around the county for the last over 50 years. For the first time in 50 years, over 50 years, this cup is coming back to Clonlara tonight. I'm delighted to say. To get to the final, lads, you have to be good. And to be beaten in the final is very hard. I know it's happened to me once or twice before. And my hat's off to Newmarket. They probably have it in their blood. This is our first time winning it. From the last century, they're probably the most successful team in it. And 3 cheers to Newmarket, lads, and you'll be back again. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Right. I have 101 people to thank. First of all, lads, I want to thank this team. I'm proud and honoured to be here, lads. They give it everything for the last 3 years. This has gone on 3 years. And the panel, it's a panel of players, lads, and they're giving it their all. Right? Boola boss for them. I'd like to thank our backroom team. This year, lads, the last few weeks, we brought in the famous Liam O'Donoghue. He worked wonders with us, lads, on our confidence, explained the game, telling us what we were doing wrong. A brilliant man to have at half-time to lay things out for you. And hats off to him. Also, we brought in Mike O'Brien. He helped us with our speed work there and our stretching and all that. And I think you can see today it paid off. We had Trace O'Brien, lads, Mike's wife. She's been our physio there for the last 2 years and she's done mighty work. I'd like to thank Bridget Conlon and Teresa Niall. Congratulations to Teresa. She got married yesterday, lads, and she was here today rubbing down fellas' legs. There's 3 men in particular I'd like to thank. Kieran Whelan, Owen Moffat. The man Mike back calls when he's in trouble. He's known around Clonlara as a little Cody. Jim Gully. I know Jim Gully gets a lot of the pictures and he does a lot of the interviews, lads.